Yeah, the camera and
We'll be just interacting on this. Okay. So good day. We're here at the town of Coaldale, and of course we have a special guest for you. And on behalf of Pinoy Hour, and we're doing a field interview here in Coaldale. I have my colleague Lou, and my name of course is John. I would like to introduce, of course, the Deputy Mayor of Coaldale itself, Honorable Jack Van Rijn.
Thank you very much for coming out and interviewing me. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
The honor is ours, of course.
And thank you for having us for this opportunity. So as we normally do on our show, we of course we take your time to introduce yourself and of course let our voters know basically Southern Alberta, Coaldale itself, and of course we'll give you the floor, Mr. Deputy Mayor, and introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. As you said, my name is Jack Van Rijn. I'm the Deputy Mayor for the town of Coaldale currently. I've been on council, it'll be 4 years coming this October. And for myself personally, I lived in Coaldale for over 50 years. I've been in business in Coaldale with my company Van Rijn Electric for over 31 years. And as far as my volunteerism goes in Coaldale, that's where this all kind of started. I started volunteering for the Coaldale and District Emergency Services 33 years ago. I was also a emergency medical technician on the Coaldale ambulance for 27 years. And I was also the Deputy Fire Chief for 16 years.
Wow.
So with being involved in the community through the fire services, I kind of planted the seed for my volunteering within Coaldale. And from there I joined various organizations. The Chamber of Commerce was one of my first ones to join when I went into business. Also, I wanted to do more volunteering, so I joined the Kinsman Club of Coaldale, and I've been with them for over 30 years as well.
It's a very good resume.
It's a very impressive record, especially a very long public service and also helping the community through business and,
yes,
and community service. We're from Netbit, and we're covering pretty much the Alberta-wide elections. And what's the main industry in Coaldale, and what pretty much differentiates Coaldale compared to the larger cities in Alberta?
Well, currently Coaldale has a strong commercial base in the industrial part. Unfortunately, from a tax perspective, we could do better. Like right now, our tax base is currently made up of approximately 90% residential and 10% commercial/industrial. As far as the type of industry, we have some companies in Coaldale, Intercontinental Truck Body. They manufacture custom truck boxes and accessories. We have window manufacturing plant in Coaldale. We have cabinet manufacturing plants in Coaldale, and we have styrofoam blocks for that they build and use for basements. We have them in Coaldale as well. So we have a brand new industrial park that we're definitely open for business. So we're actively seeking industry to come to Coaldale.
Oh. So there'll be lesser taxes for the households
That's correct.
If there's more businesses that you'll be able to get to move to Coaldale, right?
Ideally, the shift would be nice to have the shift go towards the commercial/industrial and take that away from the residential homes in Coaldale. And Coaldale, we're very comparable with our residential taxes to other municipalities, so we're doing very well in that regard as well.
That's a very good plan. The more jobs, more businesses that will be coming here, and then lesser taxes, like the Honorable Jack Van Rijn said. It'll be shifting towards the more commercial and business side, right?
Yes, and we're going to actively seek that, and that's part of my campaign for running for mayor, is to actively seek commercial industrial clients to come into Coaldale. Currently we have an excellent administration team with the town of Coaldale. We work in conjunction with council and our administration team. And we, like I said earlier, we have a brand new industrial park, lots of land available. So we're open for business in Coaldale.
That's a very good one. Now, touching aside, you mentioned that you're running for mayor. Of course, our honorable deputy mayor here. What made you decide to go into politics, sir?
Well, in 2013, I was approached during the last election to run for mayor.
Oh.
And I met with some community leaders, some business people, and they really were pushing me hard to run for mayor at that point. Upon thinking about it and looking into it, I felt that it was more important for me to run for council first, and I needed to do my due diligence as far as learning the governance. Like, we work through the MGA, or the Municipal Government Act, and that's something that you don't learn overnight, so it takes time. So instead of jumping in, and if I would have been fortunate enough to be elected as mayor in 2013, I wouldn't have known the Municipal Government Act the way that I should. And now that I've apprenticed as a member of council for the last 4 years, I feel very confident, I feel very capable of taking the next step in the democratic process and run for mayor.
Yeah, and that's a very good, you know, you pretty much go through the learning curve,
Yes.
both as a citizen,
Yes.
you know, business owner,
Yes.
and then one of the pillars of the community.
Correct.
Then go to the, you know, to the council and learn the nooks and crannies of whatever is needed to be learned. And then when you gain that experience, like our guest is saying, Honorable Van Rijn, you'll be able to put all of those, and once he's in office, it'll be an easy transition, right?
I think it's a natural fit because I have so much history in this community. And again, I can't say strong enough good things about the town of Coaldale. Not only the citizens, the staff, both in our office and at our operations department, the people that you see, the men and women that you see on the street every day. Like, everybody expects when they get up in the morning, they turn their tap on, that water's gonna come out of that tap, and every time you flush that toilet, it's gonna flush. And it takes personnel and dedicated personnel to make that happen.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
I like what I heard there.
So from a perspective of migration, not just from within Alberta and within Canada, as you can see, we've personally see that you're pretty much welcoming, and we've seen your one of your constituents and employees here as a visible minority. What has changed, and what's the migration like when it comes to the population of Coaldale, and how does it affect Coaldale as being a population of about 10,000, I would imagine? Or
We're
8,000?
right around 8,500.
8,500?
Yes.
Yes. So how does that affect the population and the way of life here in Coaldale?
Well, Coaldale has a multitude of nationalities within its boundaries, I guess. And myself, I'm an immigrant. My family came from Holland. I'm the youngest of 18 children and the only one born in Canada. We have a strong Mennonite population in Coaldale. We have Filipino, we have Mexican Mennonites, a vast across the spectrum, and we welcome anyone to come and live in our community, and we're a fun place to be. As far as the demographics, we are starting to find younger families moving into Coaldale because of our facilities, our residential neighborhoods. It's very friendly in this town, very safe, and we have lots of access to recreation, schools, and playground facilities.
Okay, good. And of course, since you're running mayor, what made you decide to run for mayor at this year, sir?
I think it was my time. Like I said earlier, I did my apprenticeship, my 4 years on council, and as part of the democratic process, everybody wants to move forward to the next step. And for me, being mayor, I felt the time was right, and I'm looking forward to working with council and moving Coaldale even further ahead.
That's a good step there.
Yeah, and you can see you're pretty much ready and pretty much overqualified, if I may even say, because of your experience. But you know, our guest was able to, you know, realize that he has to learn from the, you know, being a regular citizen in the council first, and not jump into the election as mayor right away. Now that Honorable Van Rijn is already ready, he'll be able to do what and focus on what he wants for the city.
Well, like you alluded to that I might be overqualified. I am not by any means. I just believe I'm qualified to do the job, and I'm prepared to take on the job and work with council to move Coaldale forward. I have a bit of a slogan. I like to tell people I'm Coaldale's #1 fan, and I definitely am, and I want us to do well.
That's great.
So once you get elected as mayor, what will be your main focus in implementing your platform?
Well, we have a meeting right after the election where we meet with our administration team, and we start looking for what we want to do in the next 3 years. Our budget cycle is 3 years, so then we start looking on what kind of projects need to be looked after. We also have some current projects that we're working on. One of the more exciting ones is that the RCMP detachment that's presently located in the city of Lethbridge is moving to Coaldale.
Wow.
So it's going to be a $18 million project, and there'll be close to 70 police officers and support staff coming into that building. And many of those police officers are already living in Coaldale, so it's going to do a big economic boom for Coaldale, a strong tax base. We're working on that. We're also working on some drainage concerns. You probably don't know that Coaldale is 133 feet lower than Lethbridge.
Wow.
So water runs downhill, and Coaldale has to deal with that.
Is there a problem with flooding, or?
Historically, there has been, yes.
Okay.
So we've implemented some flood mitigation programs. One we refer to as the Myor drain. And we're going to be starting the next phase October 1st. It's a $5.4 million. That's going to catch all the surface runoff water that's coming from the west. And then we're looking at another project to the south that's going to be doing the same thing. And once we get those projects complete, I feel quite confident that water is not going to be as big of a problem as it has been in the past for Coaldale.
It's a very nice one. Like, I didn't even know that the water actually goes here from, if it rains from.
But that's foresight, prevention,
Yes.
making sure that the cold air is ready.
Well, historically, when water runs downhill, you just let it keep running downhill, and you pass the problem on to the next people downstream. But we no longer do that. Every municipality has to be able to contain the water that comes into their community. You're not allowed to just discharge it downhill.
That's right.
So now we have to build water retention ponds that contain this water until the rain event is over. Then we can slowly release it into the natural drainage system. Here we refer to it as the Myor drain.
It's very good to know. On the lighter side, Honorable Deputy Mayor, I'm touching on the weather side of southern Alberta. Does weather attracting more residents to transfer to Coaldale itself, the town of Coaldale? Because I believe we're fortunate enough living in the southern Alberta to have a better climate than most of the cities such as on the east of Montreal or Toronto itself. So I guess it does attract, or it does actually lead to transfers here?
Lethbridge and southern Alberta, we have the most sunshine of any area in Canada.
Right.
So as a result of that, we're a prime agricultural area, and with that comes lots of help that's required into the farming community, not only on the cereal crops, but the cattle industry. So it attracts workers to come here, and we have many that reside within town of Coaldale, and they call Coaldale home. And the ag industry is a big supporter of Coaldale, and we need them as they need us, and we have a good partnership in that regard. So yes, weather does play a component for people moving to southern Alberta, and once they move here, they thoroughly enjoy it and they want to stay.
And I do too, and ever since I transferred from Montreal, and I've been there for 10 years, once I set foot here, I said, okay, this is where I'm going to see retired.
Yes.
And yeah, touching on the population side, Deputy Mayor, census of Coaldale numbers is at 7,000 last 2011. That's approximate population of Coaldale. Now, 2016 census mentioned it's around 8,500. So what are we looking at the growth for Coaldale itself? Are we going to see more jobs, housing, etc.?
Well, we're going to be doing our own census in 2018. The last one is through the federal government. And yes, the population right now, we're pegging at around 8,500. And within Coaldale, our land base, as far as available residential lots, commercial lots, are on the low side. So to be proactive, we're looking forward 20 years, and we just completed what's known as an annexation application.
Oh.
So annexation is where we put a request into the government to expand the boundaries of Coaldale, and we put an application in to expand 1,600 acres. So we're going to be adding more residential areas, we're going to be adding more commercial areas, and as part of that there'll be another area for possibly a school going in. And with that, when we facilitate that, then that invites people to come to Coaldale. And when people come to Coaldale, and industry comes to Coaldale, including commercial, then that creates jobs.
It's very good to know.
And that's what's great about Coaldale, like the Deputy Mayor is saying. It's controlled, and it's gradual. It's not like all of a sudden a lot of people are coming into Coaldale, but the development is actually being supported by all of the initiatives that our guest is saying and plans to do once he gets into office.
And it's important for us as a community to be proactive.
Yes.
So again, looking into the future 20 years, we'll be able to set some framework as to what direction we're going to grow in, what sort of residential developments we're looking for, where the school is going to go, and what we need to do to upgrade our infrastructure, like our deep services, water and sewer. We have to pre-plan for all of that. So now we can do that once this annexation goes through in early 2018.
Thank you for that one, Mr. Deputy Mayor. You have another one? That's pretty much,
yeah, that's very informative, and a lot of
there.
Our guest has a lot of knowledge, especially when it comes to what the Coaldale needs in the future and what's historically what's happening in order to adjust. Is there any particular message, or you can let our listeners and viewers know your pretty much overall message for this upcoming election, and also a message to the people of Coaldale?
Oh, appreciate the opportunity for that. And again, thank you for coming out today. My message is simple. It's important for people to come out on October 16th and do their democratic right by voting. There's going to be some early voting dates that are available. And for people that want to have more information, I invite them to contact me directly. You find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook presence at Jack Van Rijn, Deputy Mayor. You can Google me on Facebook, and you'll find me through Facebook, I should say. I have all my contact information on there, so the best way, I take my phone with me everywhere, 24/7. I even take it in the shower with me, for heaven's sake, so you can always get a hold of me. So my cell number is 403-382-0099, again, 382-0099, and you can phone me anytime, and I can give you give you any information, listen to your questions, your concerns, your ideas, and we can move forward from there.
Perfect. Now, I just want to send the message, as the good Deputy Mayor mentioned, to exercise our right this October 16. And there are some dates. I assume there will be some pre-poll where they would
forum.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's a very good point. There's going to be an election forum on October 4th. That's going to be hosted by the Coaldale District Community Chamber of Commerce. So the Coaldale District Chamber of Commerce, and that's going to be October the 4th from 7 to 9 at our Coaldale Community Center. And that information again is on my Facebook profile.
That's very good. And like I mentioned, the good deputy is active on the social media itself. Once you send a message, he would reply to you in the span of an hour. So that's where we actually found the mayor, and we got this fortunate opportunity to actually send him to our viewers and our listeners, and educate our said community, and of course to encourage everyone to exercise again their right. So on behalf of Pinoy Hour, Pinoy Hour is what we call Pinoy
Yes.
as Canucks to
Yes.
Canadians. So we call it the Pinoy Hour, and of course I got Mr. Lou as my colleague here. My name is John, and the good Deputy Mayor of Coaldale, once again telling you to vote and of course exercise your right. And thank you so much for the opportunity, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much.
And
thank you for listening.
Good luck on your journey to the office.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
It's been an honor. Okay, remember to vote.
October 16th.
October 16th.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.